to infinity and beyond.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky.
Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review the latest entry from Pixar, Lightyear, directed by Angus MacLane, released in 2022. And this is Pixar's return to the big screen after a 2-year absence. I mean, we have had a couple of Pixar movies before this, but they went straight to Disney Plus. So Soul and Luca, and actually 3 films, because we had Turning Red as well. So the last time Pixar had a cinematic release was for Onward, although it was only for a few weeks, because little did we know, the pandemic happened. But now the world is in a much safer place, and we are able to see Pixar's work on the big screen again. So the plot of Lightyear is as follows. While spending years attempting to return home, marooned space ranger Buzz Lightyear encounters an army of ruthless robots commanded by Zurg, who are attempting to steal his fuel source. So, just in case you were confused by the marketing of this movie, this is not a Toy Story movie. This is a spin-off film, which is supposed to be some kind of origin story spin-off about the character of Buzz Lightyear, although it's not the toy Buzz Lightyear that we see in the Toy Story movies, it's the actual ranger that the toy is based on. Because at the very start of the movie, spoiler alert, we have some opening text which explains that, in 1995, Andy bought a Buzz Lightyear toy because he was so wowed by this film. And this was the movie that he saw. So that was kind of a nice perspective. But overall, Lightyear, what did I think of this movie? Now, I saw it yesterday in the blazing sun, and I've been trying to process this movie for all that I can think it's worth. And quite honestly, this movie's really disappointing. I didn't really expect it to be very good, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. I thought the trailers were just okay. And that's kind of what this movie is. It's all right. I mean, there's really good things in it. It's got some very lovely scenes, but it doesn't really hang together. And a lot of the time, you're just sitting there scratching your head, going, "Do I actually need to see this film?" And the honest answer is no. I don't think this adds anything to the Pixar canon or to the character of Buzz Lightyear. I think the problem I have with this film is that it just meanders too much. This film just goes on for ages. I mean, it feels endless. It's 1 hour 45 minutes, and the pace really is affected at times. And I did feel like for most of the film, we're following Buzz and this team of people going after this crystal, which will help him, well, time travel so he can get back to where he started. But that seems to go on for quite a long time, and it's just nothing but endless, action sequences and adventure. So at times it gets a little tedious, and I have to admit, I did find myself thinking, this is feeling really baggy. I think they could have actually lost 15 minutes. It could have just been a straight 90-minute piece, and that would have been fine. However, the fact is, it is a Pixar film, and of course the movie does have heart. I'm not denying that. They have clearly put some care into it, and they clearly do love what they're making. But I don't know, nothing about the character of Buzz Lightyear interested me in this one. I feel like he's kind of underdeveloped in his own movie. There are some great character moments between the characters we have, like Buzz interacting with Hawthorne and her granddaughter, Izzy, Alicia and Izzy. His dynamics with those characters are great, and those are where the big sentimental moments come from. And those are the moments that really sell what I like about this movie. We also have Taika Waititi, famous director and comedian, as Mo Morrison, and then we have Dale Soules as Darby Steele. They're the 2 comedy supporting characters. They're fine, but they're not really that interesting. Mo is a bit of a klutz. He's clumsy. He keeps breaking things and setting things off and causing logistical problems for all of them. And Darby is this ranger who's on parole, and she's been given a chance to kind of help them to sort of as part of her sentence. But they're not really that interesting. They don't take the time to really focus on them that much unless they have to make the film funny. I do think the little robot cat character of Socks is quite funny. Peter Sohn voices Socks, and I think he's quite charming. It's definitely something for the kids to relate to, and I did appreciate that. I thought that him and Buzz actually had a nice dynamic. I know that Socks is a robot, but still, Socks does have an emotional heart to him, so that's good. He has thoughts and he has feelings, so yeah. And isn't he cute? You know, he's just amazing. You know, meow 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 meow. Yeah, the way he turns his head and goes meow 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 meow. You know, it's something that the kiddies are gonna take away from this movie and really enjoy. Uzo Aduba as Alicia, she's good. I like Alicia's story very much. I won't spoil it for you, but it's certainly very interesting how we do see pretty much most of her life displayed on screen. And there's a particular scene, actually fairly early on in the film, where she has she's resting and she's in a hologram and she's speaking to Buzz. It's like sort of, I guess, a farewell between the two of them. That's you know, that scene is probably the best in the movie because it's what Pixar does very best, and you know, they really do try to aim for that emotional core. That being said, this one just doesn't really hit the emotional beats as much as you'd like. You just kind of scratch your head for most of it, thinking, "Why is this here? What is this movie? What is the purpose of this movie? There is literally no purpose." You could argue that maybe it was to give the character of Buzz Lightyear more development, considering that the Toy Story movies were Woody centric. But then again, this is not based on the toy of Buzz. This is based on the human character of Buzz. So it makes no difference to me. Keke Palmer as Izzy is also very good. James Brolin plays Zurg, and there's a particular plot twist revolving Zurg, which, okay, it was weird that they did it as a twist, but I suppose it kind of makes sense when you watch the story. So, you know, the movie has a good plot that is coherent and it makes sense, but in terms of the emotional plot, it makes sense. But in terms of the narrative thread, it's very basic. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It is basic and it's pleasant for kids, but honestly, it's really quite empty. The fact that, you know, they're just going after this crystal, just trying to get home. There's not much to it. The adventurous aspect of the plot is dull, quite frankly. It's dull and it's empty, and I honestly, I got bored during this movie. I have to be perfectly honest. I really did. The movie does look great, as usual. Pixar have made a beautiful film. You know, there's no question about it. The visuals and the lighting and the animation, it's all fantastic. And this is the first time they've been back to space since WALL-E, I think. So it's been a while since we've had a Pixar movie in space. And I also did like Michael Giacchino's score. I thought his score is very good. I mean, man, this guy gets around. He's literally composing everything. How does the guy have the time to do all this? Crazy. I'm not complaining. He's a great composer, but yeah, good on him. So overall, I have very mixed feelings about Lightyear. I don't think we really needed to see this movie. And as for Chris Evans, yeah, he's good. He definitely tries as Buzz Lightyear. I mean, you know, only reminds you how this isn't Tim Allen, but I suppose if it was Tim Allen, it would have been too weird, because obviously, like, Tim Allen was the voice of the toy, so yeah, I don't know. But it still would have been nice to have Tim Allen in there somewhere. But Chris Evans does do a decent Tim Allen impression. I mean, he tries to make it his own and make him sort of, you know, younger version. But, you know, I think Chris Evans has given better performances in other films, but that's just because of the material. So my overall verdict on this film is I'll give it a pass at 6 out of 10.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky.
I can't say fairer than that, I'm afraid. I'm really sorry. The movie it kind of disappointed me in a lot of areas, but I didn't hate it. I thought there were good things in it, but not enough for me. I think the narrative could have been a lot stronger. And yeah, there are also elements of nostalgia with Buzz repeating some lines that we've heard in Toy Story. So if you like that, then good for you. But to me, okay, it was nice. But yeah, the plot, the film could have been so much more. Like, if they wanted to prove us why this movie needed to exist, other than monetary reasons, then they should have come up with a script that was better than this. But that being said, I sound like I'm slamming this movie. I'm not. The emotional side of the story works well, but it could be better. Could be better. So that's my review of Lightyear. What do you think of this film? Please comment down below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. And I believe the next Pixar film is called Elementals. So I look forward to reviewing that. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. And as always, I'm Mr. Thomas 11. See ya. Bye for now.